Evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Evening, Mike.
Good
Good
evening,
evening,
Mike.
Mike.
Good
Evening, Mike.
evening, Mike.
Evening, Mike.
Yes.
Good
Evening
evening, Mike.
and welcome to those who just are joining us for the first time. My
Evening,
name
Mike.
is Mike. On behalf of Simplified Academy, we welcome you. So you had two homeworks that you had to do. The first one, question one, you had to do this bank reconciliation here. And then the second question we will do later. Okay, today we won't waste any time, at least under 1 hour we should be done. We are going to start with a simple bank reconciliation question, this one here. I have sent this to all the groups with the links. So it's not going to be open on this side. It's only going to be open on your side. You can open it on your laptop. You can open it anywhere on your phone. Here on the screen, what I'm going to be showing now is just what we are going to be writing down as we mark this paper. So let me just scroll through it for the last time for the ones who are going to be watching the recordings, so that if they don't have the question paper, they can just see what they're supposed to use to study. Excellent. I see people are still coming in. Sindana, your screen is on. Can you please turn it off for us? Turn off, yes, thank you for that. Yes. Okay, I see a couple of people are still coming in. Let's just give it a few seconds, then we are going to start with question one. This is the paper that I sent. It's a written mock exam. Can we get feedback while we are waiting for others to join? How was this question? How was the question one from that mock exam paper? How was it? How did you find it? Anyone who wants to volunteer to say how they felt after doing the paper? Do you feel like you're going to pass bank reconciliation? I'm waiting, guys. Anyone to volunteer to tell us how was the paper? Did you find it difficult? Was it easy? What should people look out for? What did you notice? Okay. No one wants to volunteer, and that is fine. No problem there. 84. Let's just wait until it gets to 90, and then we will start. Let's just wait for the numbers to get to 90, then we will be on our way. Yes, Hlulani.
Hi, Mike. Hi, colleagues. Just as we're waiting for the one person to 90, and yeah, the assignment, I think it was fair, and I realized that most of the things that, general speaking, you've been teaching us on this book is what the person who was giving the scope at the LPC today was saying. Almost everything, so I can confidently say that you're leading us to the right direction.
Yes, so I want 5 distinctions at least. I want 5 90s from my students. I've already have the 90s down from all the people that I'm expecting the 90s from. At least 5, ladies and gentlemen. Because yeah, we need that 90. Thank you for that, Lulani. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and start. We are 90 now. We can go ahead and start. So question number 1 from the mock exam. So the question says, oh yeah, hint, not hint, but just something that I want you to note. Note, bank reconciliation is always about comparing the BCB with the business bank statement or TCB with the trust account bank statement. So I just want you to note that little statement there that says that bank reconciliation is always about comparing the BCB with the business bank statement or TCB with the trust account bank statement. We will see this when we do the second question of the night. From this one, we can't clearly see it, but we see it. But what I'm talking about, you will see it when we do the second question. So let's go ahead and read that question one from the mock exam. It says that your business cash book reflected and overdrawn balance for June 2025 of 23,315. So this is a positive balance. Your business cash book reflected an overdrawn balance. It's not positive, it's negative because overdrawn means negative. So it means that balance of the supplementary, it's negative. Overdrawn, it means negative. Overdrawn balance, there we go. It's 23,350. The business bank statement at 30th of June 2025 reflected an overdrawn balance of 22,975. So this one here also an overdrawn. Sorry, not here, but it goes here. Overdrawn balance of 22,975. Shulani, can you tell us why the overdrawn balance on the supplementary cash book it's on the credit side, and why on the bank reconciliation the overdrawn balance is on the debit side? Why is that?
Okay, given the basic principles, we know that when we're dealing with the supplementary cash book and the business reconciliation, the credit side is the negative side on the supplementary cash book, and the negative side is the debit side on the bank reconciliation statement. So whenever we say overdraft or overdrawn, we know that it's a negative amount.
Thank you. That is correct. So the simple rule of supplementary cash book and bank reconciliation says the following. Anything that is a deposit comes on the debit side. That's why I put positive here. Anything that is a deposit comes here, which means positive. Positive means more. You are getting more. Negative, overdrawn, it's on the credit side for the supplementary. For the bank reconciliation statement, negative payments, in other words, are debited. Deposits are credited. That is the difference between the bank and the supplementary. Okay, let's get into a comparison of the cash book and the bank statement revealed the following. So when we compared these two, we found the following. 1.1, there's interest on overdraft of 275 appears on the bank statement and not in the cash book. Now let's get hands. 1.1, quickly. How would you answer that one and give us the reason? How would you answer interest on overdraft of 275 appears on the bank statement and not in the cash book? Where would you answer this interest? Yes, Aisha?
Hi, Mike. Hi, colleagues. So for interest on overdraft, because it had overdraft, it would go onto the credit side of the supplementary cash book.
That is correct. We are going to record this overdraft interest. Overdraft on the credit side of the 275. The reason why it goes to the credit side of the supplementary cash book is because it's a payment, it's a negative. That's why we have to put it on the credit side of the supplementary. Thank you for that. That is correct. 1.2. Aisha, don't answer anymore until we get to the next question. For you, the questions are done for today. Let's give others a chance. Once you answer one question, please give others a chance. 1.2, the EFT deposit for client XYZ Pty Ltd of 8,000 appears on the bank statement only. What about that one? The 8,000. Yes, Kululwa.
We'll record it on the debit side of the supplementary cash book.
Reason?
It's the money coming in. So it's a plus on the supplementary cash book.
Correct. But why are we recording it on the supplementary and not the bank reconciliation?
It doesn't appear on the supplementary, it's only on the bank.
Correct. It only appears on the bank already and it's missing on the supplementary. She is correct. So EFT deposit XYZ PTY Ltd. We are going to record it on the debit side of the supplementary cash book. That is correct. Thank you for that clear reason. 1.3, a receipt from Mr. Smith of 3,000 appears in the cash book and not in the bank statement. Let's get another person. Receipt from Mr. Smith of 3,000 appears in the cash book and not in the bank statement. Who wants to answer that one? The 3,000. Yes, Kekana.
I am okay. From what I know, it's because it's a receipt and it's written in the cash book, so it means it's not in the bank statement. So I would write it in the bank reconciliation statement on the credit side.
Why?
Because
Why on the credit side?
because it's a receipt. I'm not sure.
Correct. That is the reason. Because it's a deposit, in other words. Correct. And all the deposits are credited on the bank reconciliation. So yes, you are right. Receipt, Mr. Smith. That is a missing transaction of 3,000, which is essentially a deposit. Thank you for that. 1.5. A receipt from Mr. Mkiza of 1,200, which was deposited in the bank account, has been incorrectly entered in the cash book as 1020. Mokhale, do you want to answer that? Queen Mujaji?
Yes, I want to answer, but then I think you skipped 1.4.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry. 1.4. Yes, you're right. Go
Yeah.
answer. Answer 1.4. A payment to high tech for 2,300 appears in the cash book and not in the bank statement. Yes, go ahead and answer 1.4.
Since it's not appearing in the bank statement, we should record it in the bank reconciliation statement on the debit side, because payments are debited on the bank reconciliation statement.
That is correct. Payment to high tech. Yes, you are right. Payment to high tech, we are going to credit it. It's going to be the 2,300 on the debit side of the bank reconciliation because deposits are debited on the bank reconciliation. Thank you for that. Okay, 1.5, a receipt from Mr. Mkiza for 1.2, which was deposited in the bank account, has been incorrectly entered in the cash book as 1020. Volunteers? Yes, Siko.
Hi, Mike, hi, colleagues. I do hope that I am audible. It says that a receipt from Mr. Mkiz of 1.2. Mike, we are going to, first things first, what we should note is that there's a theme error there of a 1.2. A receipt from Mr. Mkiz, we are going to record the correct amount on the supplementary cash book on the positive side, which is the debit side, and then credit the incorrect amount from Mr. Mkize on the supplementary cash book as well, the 1020.
Thank you for that. So this is a firm error. Since it's a firm
Yes.
error and it's a deposit error, we are going to say receipt. Oh, wow. Why do I keep spelling the wrong thing? Receipt, Mr. Mkize, error. We are going to put the correct amount on the debit side. Since this is a deposit error, we debit the correct amount, and the correct amount in this case, it's the 1,200. And then we credit the wrong amount, receipt, Mr. Mkize, error, and we credit the 1020. Let's see. A receipt from Mr. Mkize of 1,000, which was deposited in the bank account, has been incorrectly entered as 1020. Yes, that is correct. Thank you for that. So since this is a deposit error and a firm error, we debit the correct amount and we credit the incorrect amount. Thank you for that. Do you have a question, Lucia? I see your hands.
Sorry, Mike, I just have a tip for the colleagues because the debiting correct amount and crediting incorrect amount wasn't sticking with me when practicing. So I wrote this prompt for myself. What tip should I say? Saying correct amount goes where it had to be in the first place to avoid an error. So if you know that, you know the incorrect amount will go to the uh where it was not supposed to go as a deposit, you know.
Can you repeat that?
Correct amount goes where it had to be in the first place to avoid an error.
And then you leave out the incorrect amount.
Yeah, that's how you will just know the incorrect amount will go to the other side, to the credit side in this case.
Okay. Yes, that also works. Yes, you're right. The correct amount goes where it was supposed to go, essentially. Thank you for that. Let's move on. 1.6, an EFT payment to the secretary of 5,750 has been incorrectly entered in the cash book as 5,570. Let's get an answer from someone. Yes, Sindana.
Hi, Mark. Hi, everyone. Okay. This one is a firm error. It's a payment error. So in this instance, we're going to debit the wrong amount and credit the correct amount, which is 5750.
5750 is the correct or incorrect amount?
5750 is the correct amount.
Correct.
We're going to credit it because it's payment going out, and then the wrong one, the 5570, we debit it.
Correct. Thank you for that. So we are going to credit the correct amount. EFT secretary error, 5,750 is the correct amount. Then we debit the wrong amount. EFT secretary error. We debit the wrong amount, which is the 5570. Yes, thank you for that. Correct. Let's move on. 1.7. The bank has inadvertently credited your bank account with a trust deposit of 4,000. There is something with the trust deposit of 4,000. What is that? The bank has inadvertently credited your bank account with a trust deposit of 4,000. Who wants to answer number 1.7? Yes, Lucia?
Like I said, it's a bank error and I recorded it on the debit side of the bank reconciliation statement.
Correct. Since this error here, it's a deposit error. When we correct it, we have to correct it on the debit side of the bank reconciliation. So bank inadvertently which is the 4,000. So since this is a deposit error, it happened on the credit side. And when we correct bank errors, we correct them on the opposite side, which is the opposite is the debit side. Thank you for that. The bank has erroneously debited your bank account with an adjustment of 2,000. Yes, Malinga.
Yes, Mike. So on this one, what I did is I recorded it's a bank error, sorry, and then I recorded it in the bank reconciliation statement and on the credit side. since it was a mistake made by the bank. So they actually made a payment in our bank account. So we're going to do the opposite and bring back the amount in our bank statement. No, sorry, in our bank account.
Correct. Thank you for that. 1.9, a debit order in favor of West Bank for 4,200 in respect of your motor car installment, and a stop order of in favor of your ABSA loan account of 6,000 does not appear in the cash book. I need one person to answer both of them, the debit order and the stop order. Someone who hasn't answered today, a new person, debit order and the stop order. I need a new hand. Shawishi, yes.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Go ahead.
I'm good, thanks. I'm joining for the first time today. I was actually late for joining your groups in time. So from my understanding, since these are like debit orders, for example, we have a debit order in favor of West Bank for 4,200. So we'll record that in our cash book, and that will be 4,200 on the credit side because that is money that is going out of the account. And then on ABSA will do the same. That debit stop order is in favor of ABSA in the amount of 6,000. That is also money that is going out of the account. So we'll record that 6,000 also in the cash book on the credit side as well.
Correct. Thank you for that. Thank you very much. You are
Thank
right.
you.
The 4,200, there it is. And then we record the one for ABSA, the 6,000. Excellent. Okay, number 10, bank service charges in the amount of 250 appears in the bank statement only. Number 10, and then we balance our things, and then we are done with this first question. We'll move on to the next one. New hands only, guys. If you have answered, please no more hand. Yamashatsi.
Bank charges will record it on the credit side of our supplementary cash book because it's the money that going out of our account.
Correct. Thank you for that, Mahlatsi. So in a nutshell, this is how you were supposed to answer number 1 up to number 10. You were supposed to answer them this way. Now we are going to do the final step, which is the closing of this accounts. In order for us to close, let's start with the supplementary. We choose which side is greater if we were to add the amounts together. Obviously, this side would not be greater than this side because here there's already a 23,350. Obviously, when we add up these amounts on the credit side, they are greater. So we are going to say the total of that side. We are going to calculate it. We are going to add up everything on the credit side. So let's go ahead and do that. 23,350 plus 275 plus 1020 plus 5750 plus 4,200 plus 6,000 plus 250. That equals to 40,845. Once you get the total of the greater side, which is the credit side, you also use it as a total for the other side. Total, which is the same one, you're going to use the same total, 4845. But we know that the debit side does not equal to this amount. So in order for the debit side to be equal to this amount here, you need what we call the balance brought down. Sometimes it's called the balance carried forward. It's still the same thing, ladies and gentlemen. Balance brought down, balance carried forward. You're going to take the total 40,845 minus everything that is there. So 40,845 minus 8,000 minus 1,200 minus 5570. That is going to give you 26,075. And that is what we call a balance brought down. Now, when you add up everything here, it comes back to this amount here, meaning your bank reconciliation or your supplementary has been reconciled. Now it's time to reconcile the bank statement. This is actually the reconciliation. Let's go ahead and do the same thing we did above. You check which side is greater, the debit side or the credit side. Obviously, the debit side would be greater because there's like 22,000 there. So we need to add up everything that is on the debit side. 22,975 plus 2,300 plus 4,000. That will give you a total of 29,275, which you are also going to take to the other side and make it their total on the other side. Total 29,275. We know that this side does not equal to 29,275. So we also need a balance brought down. So in our balance brought down, we are going to minus everything that is there from the total. So 29,275 minus 3,000 minus 200. It gives you 26,075. And now your books are balanced because the balance are the same. The balance brought down from the supplementary, it's 26,075. And the balance brought down from here, it's also the same, 26,075. This is the only question in the board exams which you can prove if you're doing something correct. But please, even though you can prove that whether what you did is correct or incorrect, the examiner has thrown away that trick. In some of the exams, you cannot prove because in some of the exams, the answers are going to be different. So don't stress yourself. Just write it, reconfirm everything, especially if it's not balancing. If this balance here is not the same as this one, just reconfirm one time. If it's still not lining up, move on to the next question. Yes, Cindy Swa.
Hi, Mike. So under the balance brought down, right? So for the narration, for my narration, I initially wrote balance carried down. Is it still fine or should I still stick to the balance brought down?
Still fine. Descriptions, they don't matter. The examiner looks at the numbers.
All right, thank you.
Yes, the only description that matters is the name of the book, ne? But the description inside the book, they don't really matter. What the examiner is looking for inside the book is the numbers. Yes, Klabishi.
Hi, I want to ask here, everything else makes sense. I was active in the class. 1.6. So
Okay.
I just made a mistake in my end when I was attempting the homework of the recording the 5,570 on the credit side. So here, isn't it usually that trick that the first amount will come to the debit and then the other one will go to the other side? So here, is it a trick that they use in the exam or what? And how did we actually decide there that now we're going to do it the other way around as opposed to how we did it in 1.5?
Oh, okay. Let me explain. So the difference between 1.5 and 1.6 ne, is the terms of whether it's a deposit or a payment. So for 1.5, it was a deposit. So if it's a deposit, we have to write the correct deposit, which was the 1,200. That was the correct deposit. The incorrect deposit was the 1,020. That's why the deposit is correct, the payment is incorrect, because this was a deposit. Now, for 1.6, it's a payment. It's a payment error. So the payment has to be correct and the deposit has to be wrong. That is why the EFT secretary, 5,750, it's correct. And the EFT secretary on the debit side, it's incorrect. So if it's a payment error, the payment has to be correct. The credit side has to be correct and the debit side has to be incorrect. If it's a deposit error, the debit side has to be correct, the credit side has to be incorrect. Deposit error, debit the correct amount, and credit the wrong amount. Payment error, credit the right amount and debit the wrong amount. So that is the principle, Mr. Shavishi. The principle of firm errors. That is it there. I just wrote it down for you there. You can quickly copy it. Deposit error,
Thank you
like
very
number
much.
1.5, yes. Like 1.5, a receipt from Mr. Mkize. You can hear that this is a deposit because we are receiving. Then 1.6, an EFT payment to the secretary. You can hear that this is a payment. So that is the difference between a deposit and a payment error. Clear?
100%. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Anyone else with a question before we proceed to the difficult part of the question, which is what we are going to do next, the other question? Does anyone else have a question with regards to what we just did now? Clarity, do you need clarity? Yes, Ngateko, go ahead and ask.
My apologies, I joined a bit late, but I just wanted to confirm if the balance is 26,075 rands.
You mean this balance here brought down?
Yes, on the supplementary and also on the bank reconciliation.
Yes, it's 26,075.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Excellent. Any other question? I'm giving you 5 seconds to raise your hand and ask, or we are moving to the next question. 4, 3, yes, Lungelo.
And Mike, can you just please scroll down to the note part that you gave us at the beginning of the class? I just wanted to see what was the second part that we said we focus on as well.
There,
Thank
to
you.
this note, yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
no problem. 3, 2, 1, 0. Sold. Dewuko. It's sold. The car is gone. Too late. What's your question, Dewuko? Yes, Dewuko, I see your hand. What's your question? Turn on your mic. Your mic is off.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, I was asking about the outstanding payment on the bank reconciliation, the one that you put on the debit side, because I put it on the credit side myself. So I'm confused about that one.
Which one is that number?
Number 3 on the bank
Number 3.
reconciliation, the outstanding payment.
Okay, a receipt from the one that says a receipt from Mr. Smith.
No, the other one for 2,300.
1.4. A payment to high tech.
Yes.
Okay, so the question says a payment to high tech for 2,300 appears in the cash book and not in the bank statement. And you said you recorded it where?
On the credit side of bank recon.
Oh, on this bank reconciliation statement, you put it here.
Yes.
So why did you put it there? Let's start there.
I understood that it's an outstanding payment. So that's why I put it on the credit side.
Okay, let me teach you the principle. So when it comes to the bank reconciliation, all the deposits are credited. So this side here, it's for deposits, the credit side. For bank reconciliation only, don't get it confused. For bank reconciliation statement, the credit side here, it's for deposits. All the payments are debited.
Okay.
That's why we put it on the debit side.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Okay,
note that
thank
down.
you.
Note
Okay,
that
thanks.
down. It's very, very important. You see,
Okay.
payment to what? Yes. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before we move on, there's something that I didn't even teach my students in class because I was like waiting for me to like do it on like the revision classes. Does anyone or any of my students who was watching the previous recordings from March knows about, what do they call them? Do you call them share scheduled? Yes, scheduled payments. Does anyone know what a scheduled payment is and how it works and how you should answer scheduled payments? I haven't touched this in class, but I touched it in March. I was waiting for us to do it in our revision starting next week. But let me just ask if somebody knows it here. Does anyone know about scheduled payments? Do you know what they are? Do you know how to answer them in the board exams? Obviously, the usual suspect. Yes, Luce, go ahead.
Yes, Mike, I noted it down actually from watching the recording. It's that post-dated EFTs or scheduled payments. They are recorded.
Dated
Yeah.
EFT, yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, they are recorded on the cash book today and actually sent from the bank another day.
That's what
Right?
they are. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Recorded on the cash book today, and the payment in the bank is actually made on a different day.
But sent from the bank. Yes. And then
Correct.
I have two more points. If
Mhm.
there is a scheduled payment, the following must happen. Difference of 1 day, we will allow the scheduled payment, credit the bank reconciliation statement.
Correct.
Yes, only if there's a difference of one day. If there's a difference of 2 days or more, we don't allow the payment. We will reverse it on the supplementary cash book. We debit the payment.
Correct again. So if it's 2 days, not allowed, reverse. Debit the supplementary.
Yes, Mike.
Cash book. Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Yes. Thank you very much for that. That's exactly how you deal with scheduled payments or post-dated EFT. 1 day difference allowed. Credit bank reconciliation statement as it would have happened. If there's a difference of 2 days or more, it's not allowed. Reverse and debit the supplementary cash book. That's it. Thank you for that insight there. Anyone to add something before we move to the next question? No addition. Yes, go ahead while I'm opening the question paper.
Mike, I just want to add that the question paper you were about to open really scrambled my brain.
I know, that's why I chose it, because I really want us to like do everything, because you know it's gonna be easy. After this class today, you'll see that actually this is just the same thing that we were doing before. It's the same thing.
Hopefully, Mike.
Yes, you will
Fingers
see.
crossed.
You will see.
Thank you.
Definitely, you will see. Okay, so our next question for the day, let's analyze the question paper first before we start answering. The question paper that we are going to be handling today is the 2025 March attorney's bookkeeping. Question number 2. Is it? No, it's not. Yeah, it is question number 2. Yes, it is question number 2. Excellent. It's question number 2. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we are going to be doing. Question number 2 is going to be the following. These are the things that we are going to be doing. So what is the difference between this bank reconciliation on this question and the previous one? There is really no difference. The only difference that there is the fact that for this question 2 here, they want you to apply the principles manually. In that question that we just did last, it was automatically. They gave you the answers automatically. You just have to put them in the right places. For this one here, you have to manually go through the transactions and look at the discrepancies in order for you to bank reconcile. That is the difference between this one and that other one. If you check this question here, they said that you must start by drafting a BCB. Once you have drafted your BCB, you will then compare it with your statement. This is your statement. Remember, in bank reconciliation, it's a game of comparison. We are comparing our cash book, which we are going to draft first, with the bank statement. Then we are going to manually compare and find the answers ourselves. That is what we are going to be doing. So let's draft the BCB first, then we will get back to the question paper. So we are going to write all these transactions in the BCB. Like I said to you guys, it's either they give you the BCB and the business bank statement, or they give you the TCB and the trust account bank statement. They can't mix it up. It has to be one. So please be aware of that when it comes to bank reconciliation. I know the principles that I taught you in class, but when it comes to bank reconciliation, always limit it to either the BCB and the business bank account, or the TCB and the trust account. Don't mix it up. So if it's bank reconciliation, we are dealing only with BCB and the business bank account, or TCB and trust account only. In this question here, we are only dealing with business. So all this transaction, we are going to record them under the BCB. And also another thing that you should be aware of, don't do double entry for bank reconciliation. So let's go ahead into our books and start answering the BCB. Let's go back to the notes. Let me look for that document. There it is. Okay. Question 2, March 2026. Sorry, 2025. Let's start with our BCB. Let me just, there we go. Let's remove the plus and the minus. There we go. We are going to name this our business cash book. There we go. Let's go ahead and do the things.
We can't see your screen, Mike.
Let me just re-show it again. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Yes, Mike.
Yes.
Excellent. Let me open that question up on my phone so that I can read it, and then we can insert the amounts where they're supposed to be inserted. Where is it? The 2026 group, there it is. Okay. Let's go ahead and start. Okay, so the question says, during the month of November 2024, the following transaction take place in the business books of attorneys ABC Inc. That's your law firm right there. Okay, 1st of November, there is a favorable balance as per business cash book brought forward of 100,000. So the balance is going to be here and it's favorable. So the 100,000, it's our opening balance and it's favorable. Sorry, I don't know why I'm writing it on the credit side. Since it's favorable, it's gonna go on the debit side. Let me just turn off your mic. So it's gonna come here. The balance is gonna come here. It's a favorable balance, so it's a positive balance. We write it on the debit side of the business cash book. Please turn off your mic. The person who has their mic on, it's chippering here. It's making noise. Please turn your mic off. Okay. And then on the 5th of November, you receive an EFT payment. God, turn off your mic, man. Okay, let me continue. On the 5th of November, you receive an EFT payment of On the 5th of November, you receive an EFT payment of 57,500 from your client Moses in settlement of your tax invoice submitted to him. So since this is a payment from Moses, we are going to receive it. EFT payment. It's a deposit as well, because when Moses sends us money, that money we treat it as a deposit on our side. So there's the 57,500. On the 7th of November, you pay by EFT. So all of the following are payments. There is 50,000 to Standard Bank for your bond installment. So let's say pay bond installment. We are going to credit that one with 50,000. Then there's 7,500 to Absa Bank for your motor car installment. Pay motor car installment, which was 7,500. Then there's 20,000 to Old Mutual Properties in respect of rental. Pay rental, which was 20,000. Then the fourth payment, there is 2,500 to Telkom for the phone, internet, etc. Pay phone, which is 2,500, is a payment as well. There we go. On the 12th of November, you receive by EFT an amount of 17,500 from Mr. Cook, being your fee for a successful bail application you had done and submitted a tax invoice. So we are going to record that on the debit side because it's a payment from Mr. Cook. EFT by Mr. Cook. Mr. Cook, sorry. 17,500. There we go. And then on the 18th, you receive an EFT in the amount of 23,000 from your client, XYZ Pty Ltd, being fees for an agreement that you had already prepared on instructions of the client. So we are going to record it here. EFT by XYZ Pty Ltd, which was how much? It was 23,000. There we go. Next, you paid 2,500 to cancel for drafting particulars of claim. In a divorce matter on behalf of your client, Miss Divorce, you have no cover for fees or disbursements. So you paid 2,000 to cancel for drafting particulars of claim. That is a payment. Pay cancel. We paid our counsel how much? 2,500. A very cheap counsel indeed. It's probably starting out. Probably just started this year. Okay, let's continue. You paid on the 24th of November, you paid 1,000 to the sheriff in the Miss Divorce matter. That is another payment. Pay sheriff. 1,000. Then the next one, you received an EFT for 23,750 from client Smith on receipt of your tax invoice. So there's another EFT from Smith. It's a deposit. EFT Smith, 23,750. There we go. On 27 November, you received an EFT for 3,500 from client Zama in settlement of your tax invoice. EFT again from Zama, EFT Zama. You put it here, it's going to be 3,500. Next, you pay salaries, 75,000. That is the last transaction. That is a payment. Pay salaries. 75,000. There we go. Now, we have recorded all the transactions that occurred on the BCB. So what is the final step? When it comes to bank reconciliation, guys, you must always close off the accounts. So I showed you how you close off the accounts from the last question. I'm also going to show it to you here. So how to close off the accounts? Let me stretch this up a bit so that we can have space here. So how do you close off the account? To close off the account, you look for the bigger side. Is it the debit side or the credit side? I can already tell that it's going to be the credit side. Sorry, it's going to be the debit side because we have 57,000 here and 100,000, which are bigger. It's already like 150 here and here. Yeah, this is going to be less. Yeah, so this side, I agree that this side is going to be the bigger side. So we are going to total everything to get how much that side equals. So we are going to say 100,000 plus 57,000, 57,500 plus 17,500 plus 23,000 plus 23,750 plus 3,500. That is going to give you 225,250, which is going to be the total also for this side. We move it to the other side as well, but we are well aware that this side does not equal to 22,000. Sorry, 225,250. There we go. So we need what we call the balance brought down. So in order for us to calculate our balance brought down, we do the same thing. We're going to say 225,000, 250 minus the whole amounts that are up there. So let's minus.
Look, you are extremely breaking, Mike.
Am I breaking, guys?
Nope, you are not.
I just know that I'm
No,
not breaking because the
no.
network that I use here is a powerful network. Can never break. It's you, sir. I can never break. Okay, let me continue. So 225,250. So we are going to minus all of these amounts from this total here. So minus 50,000, minus 7,500, minus 20,000, minus 2,500, minus 2,500 again, minus 1,000, minus 75,000. And that's going to give you a total of 66,750, which is your balance brought down. Yes, I just wanted to ask if anyone has a question before we move on. Yes, Mahlatsi?
Sir, I think now I got a wrong or a different amount due to the bank charges on the statement, the 4,000 of bank charges. I don't know if maybe I'm mistaken on this one. On the, if we can check our bank statement.
No, we are not yet dealing with the bank statement, Mahlatsi. We are only dealing with the cash book now.
Okay.
Because remember, the examiner wanted us to first, before, we haven't gotten to bank reconciliation, eh? We are only doing the BCB now.
Okay.
We are going to do those things, what you're talking about. We are going to do them now after this. But the examiner for this question, you see, this question is different from the other question because this one is 20 marks. First, we had to draft the BCB.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Yes, Aisha?
Hi, Mike. I'm not getting the same answer as you, the 66,750. You took the total amount, 225,250, and you subtracted all of the amounts from the credit side. So
Correct.
I'm not getting that amount. And I've done it for like 4 times now. I'm getting 134,250. So
let me also verify. Thank you for
Okay.
saying that. It might be
Thank
wrong.
you.
You never know. Let me recalculate it. Yes. 50,000 minus 7,500 minus 20,000 minus 2,500 minus 2,500 minus 1,000 minus 75,000. I'm still getting 66,750. What about someone else?
Mike, I got the same. I got the same total. 66,750.
Same
I got the
total.
same total, Mike.
Yeah.
I also got the
Same
same.
It's the
So,
same.
Aisha, you're probably putting in an extra
Aisha,
zero
Aisha,
there.
maybe you are missing something. Recheck, please.
Okay, no, I'll recheck. Thank you so much.
Yes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, for this bank reconciliation question, if you ever see a bank reconciliation question like this, just know that the examiner wants you to practically do it. He wants you to practically have your business cash book. There it is. Now you're going to compare this business cash book to your statement. We are really comparing. Because you remember, on the previous question, it says that after comparison of the TC of the cash book and the bank statement, you found the following. That is not here. The examiner didn't say that here. The examiner here gave it to you, gave you the information. He wanted you to extract it yourself. He wanted you to find the discrepancies yourself. So you had to dig for answers. That is the difference between this question and the previous question we were doing. So let's go ahead and get dirty with the question and wrestle with the pig and find what the difference is. So a copy of the bank statement is provided herewith. So we are going to compare this business cash book with this bank statement. Please, everyone, open your bank statement on your side so that when we are checking it, we can verify together. So when we see the discrepancies, we can know them. Excellent. I believe everybody has their own open now. We are going to do a comparison of the bank statement and the business cash book. Okay, let's start first with looking at whether debit is deposit or credit is the deposit. We first need to determine that. So the debit side on the bank statement is the payment. The credit side is the deposit. So let's first start with all the debit side to see if all the transactions that are on the debit side we are comparing the credit side transactions. You see all these transactions, we are going to look at the debit side on the bank statement to see if all of them are there and they're proper. Okay, let's go ahead and start. Let's start with the 50,000 from bond installment. Yes, it is there. You see Standard Bank 50,000 is there. Number 2, Old Mutual 20,000. Is it there? Yeah, it is there. There is the 20,000 from Old Mutual. So that is correct also. ABSA 7,500. Where's ABSA 7,500? There it is, which means it's also correct. Telcom 2,500. There it is, the 2,500. We move on. Cancel 2,500. There it is. Pay cancel 2,500. Sheriff 1,000. There it is. It's there. It's proper. Salaries 75,000. There it is. The salaries. There it is. Bank charges. Do we see any bank charges here on the credit side?
No, Mike.
No, Mike.
No.
What does this tell us? Where is it showing?
It's on the
Only in
bank
the bank
statement, so we need
statements.
to place it in the supplementary cash book.
Correct. Let's start with number 1, the first discrepancy. Let's write down all the discrepancies. Okay, so the first one is going to be bank charges of 4,000 showing only on the bank statement. You see, now we are composing our own, right? Because the examiner automatically gives you this, but now you have to do it on your own. Let's read again. We are done with all the deposits, right? Yes, we are done with all the payments. Sorry, these are payments. Now we are coming to the deposits here. We're going to deal with these deposits here. Let's go ahead and start. The first deposit is the 57,500. Do we have a 57,500 here? Oh, sorry, yeah, there it is.
Yes, Mike.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do have.
I was pointing at the wrong side. There it is. It's supposed to be on this side. Yes, verified 57,500. We have deposit 23,000. Verified. There it is. The 23,000. Deposit 17,500. There it is. Verified. Deposit 23,750. There it is. Verified. Deposit 15,000. Do we have a deposit of 15,000?
No.
Yes. So where is it showing? It's only showing where? On the
bank
On the
statement.
bank statements.
Cash book.
Deposit of how much was that? 15,000, right? Deposit of 15,000 is only showing on the bank statement. There we go. Another discrepancy that we saw. Let's continue. There's a deposit of 35,000. Do we have a deposit of 35,000 here?
No.
No. Deposit of 35,000 is only showing in the bank. There we go. Now, let's read what the information says down there. Oh, before we do read that information, let's see. Are there some things that are showing on the bank, on the business cash book, but they are not there on the bank statement? Did anyone notice anything showing? We verified, yes. Sindana, what did you notice? Is there something?
Yes, like I did. There is 3,500. The EFT from Zama. It's not showing on the bank statement.
EFT Zama of 3,500 is not showing on the bank statement. Thank you for that. Do we have any other one? Do we have another discrepancy? This one, okay. This one we verified. This one we verified. This one, 17,500 we verified. 57,500 we verified. Okay. So yeah, those are all the discrepancies. And on this other side as well, did we verify everything? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, yes, it's fine. Okay, now we can finally see what the discrepancies is when we read the information that follows. You see down there, it says NB. There is a bank balance as at 30 November 2024 reflects a favorable balance of 109,250. Let's just put that aside. And then you find that the payment by Zama is 35,000 and not 3,500. So what does that mean when they say that you find that the payment by Zama is 35,000 and not 3,500? What does that mean? How would you structure that question? What does it mean? Anyone? Yes, Sindana?
Mike, that means it's a deposit error.
It's a
and
deposit.
we should fix it in the supplementary cash book.
So the error happened where? Did it happen on the bank or the cash book?
It happened in the cash book.
Correct, because that's where the 3,500 is. So first structure goes like this. EFT Zama erroneously recorded on the cash book of, let's say, EFT Zama of 35,000 erroneously recorded on the cash book as 3,500. That's how you would structure it. This is the structure now. This is how usually in the board exam it comes as. So now we know that number 3 and 4 are connected, right? Because the 35,000, it was supposed to be the 3,500 that was recorded on where? There. So the structure says EFT Zama of 35,000 erroneously recorded on the cash book as 3,500. Let's go to the next one, number 2. A direct deposit of 15,000 does not appear in the cash book. Direct deposit of 15,000 not appearing on the cash book. There we go. So we only have 3 transactions that we have to deal with. Bank charges of 4,000 missing in the cash book. So these are the only 3 transactions that we have to deal with. Remember, this year is the discrepancies. This year is the structure of what we have to answer in our bank reconciliation. Yes, Tuso? Turn on your mic, Tuso.
Thanks, Mike. Yes, on the NB, I see it says you find that the payment by Zama is 35,000 and not 3,500, not EFT. Or am I wrong?
Oh yeah, no, like there is written like that, ne? But the actual, it's an EFT. If you go back to the If you go back to the question above, way up there, if you look for Zama, you will find there on the 27th of November. Do you see the 27th November, you received an EFT for 3,500 from client Zama. That's why I'm structuring it as if it's EFT Zama. That's why I'm like structuring it that way. So here I'm trying to like give it to you how the board exam usually gives it to you. Because like I told you at the beginning of the class, we are manually doing it. Okay, let's do bank reconciliation now. Since we have our discrepancies, let's go ahead and do our bank reconciliation. We are going to have here the supplementary cash book, the bank reconciliation statement. So here it's positive. And here it's negative. There we go. Now, opening balance. For the bank reconciliation statement, they gave us an opening balance. Bank balance as at 30 November reflects a favorable balance of 109. So that is going to be our balance. Balance for the bank. 109. Where is it? 109. There we go. 250. There we go. We also have the balance for the supplementary. Where do we get the balance of the supplementary? There is the balance of the supplementary from the BCB, business cash book, this balance. This balance is positive. Why is it positive even though it's on the credit side? Because we found that the debit side has a greater amount that surpasses the credit side. So this means that the balance brought down is the opening balance of the supplementary cash book. This one here, the 66,750, it's positive. Balance 66,750. Yes, what's your question, Luce?
Sorry, Mike, I'm not sure if you'll be able to explain that again, like
No
as to
problem.
why that balance is coming from the cash book's credit side to the supplementary cash book's debit side.
Okay,
Can you
let's do
perhaps just repeat that, or
let's
just
do
for me
it.
to understand, please? Sorry, Mike.
Yes, no problem. I like when people ask questions. So Luce, this is what happens. You remember when I said that we need to balance the books at the end, right? Please respond. Are you there? Luce, are you there? She's not there, so I cannot explain if she can't confirm what I'm saying. Mahlatsi, what is your question?
No, it's not a question. Thank you for the clarity, because I see that I went wrong on the balance. I took
Yes,
the
Mike,
balance.
yes.
So I took the balance for 100,000 instead of the 69.
Oh, for this one.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. Okay, Lucia, are you back? So that I can explain to you. Are you back? Okay, she's not back. Does anyone know? Can anyone tell us why are we taking this balance and putting it as a positive here? Anyone who understood what I was saying, can you explain it in your own words? Yes, Kulani.
Okay, thank you, Mike. So in my understanding is that when you first taught us the very first class, you said the deposits are on the debit side and then the payments are on the credit side. So when we take all the money, it means all our money as a law firm, as an attorney, all your money is on the debit side. So when you are busy paying whatever you are paying, cancel, paying for the phone, after paying all those people and all those disbursements, you are left with 66,750, which means that that amount you are not owing, it's a positive. You are still left with money. That is why when you go to the supplementary cash book, you have to record the money on the debit side, because the debit side of the supplementary cash book is the positive side. However, if, for example, after doing the business cash book, the bigger amount was, for example, on the left-hand side, is that correct? And then you start subtracting, yes.
No, not left side, the big amount on the credit side.
Yes, on the credit side, the right-hand side, yes. So it means now your debt as a law firm would be so much that when you subtract all the monies in your trust account as a firm, you are going to be left with a negative. In other words, you would be owing the monies that you have in your account, which means it's an overdraft. It would be a negative, which means it was going to go on the credit side of the supplementary cash book. That's my understanding.
Nice. Join Simplified, ladies and gentlemen. You'll be answering questions like that. You see, what Fulani just said now, even I was not thinking about it, but he brought it up. I like that explanation right there. That is exactly what it is. So if the bigger side is the debit side, it means that we have more money than liabilities. If the credit side is the bigger side, we have more liabilities than the money that we have in the account. That is why, since this balance brought down is on the credit side, the reason why it's coming to the supplementary as a positive, that's the reason why. Thank you for that, Lulani. I hope Lucia
Thanks a
understands.
million. I
Yes,
think my network came back on the right time.
And Mike, another way, even if you look at it from a double entry principle, the amount was on the credit side. So we open the double entry principle has to apply. So we're taking it to the debit side as an opening balance.
There we go. So thank you for that explanation. Now let's answer the discrepancies. Number one, EFT Zama of 35,000 erroneously recorded on the cash book as 3,500. Who wants to answer that question? Who wants to give us an answer? How would you structure? How would you answer it on the supplementary cash book or that? Yes, Nadia?
Evening, colleagues. The 35,000 will go into the supplementary cash book on the debit side, which is the correct amount. And then on the credit side, the 3,500 will go there, as that was the incorrect amount.
Correct. Thank you for that. EFT, let me say EFT by Zama here. EFT by Zama. So EFT Zama error 35,000. EFT Zama error 3,500. Yes, Aisha, what's the hand for?
I'm a bit confused. I hope you can please explain. The EFT for Zama, it's a firm payment error. Am I correct?
No, it's a deposit error because Zama was depositing money. If you go to let me check. If you go to the transaction that happened on the 27th of November, you will see. You received an EFT for, sorry, it's on the 27th of November. You received an EFT for 3,500 from client Zama.
Oh, so EFT, if you receive it, it is a deposit.
Correct. Same as payment. If they say you receive a payment of 3,000, it's still a deposit, even though it's structured as a payment.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
It's how the money interacts with you.
Thank you.
Yes. But let me just say it one more time. I'm impressed by the way Kulani explained that question. I learned something new today myself. I'm learning as well. I'm very happy. That explanation, top notch. See, simplified. That's what we are all about. Kulani, once you get your admission, please, man, come back to Simplified Academy. I like what you just did there. That is the characteristics of a Simplified Academy tutor. Okay, let's continue. Number two, direct deposit of 15. Oh, there's a hand. Yes, Tuso, sorry.
Hey, Mr. Mike, I wanted to ask if it's our first discrepancy, not the 4,000 bank charges that is not showing on the bank statement.
There, you see discrepancies. It's there. It's the first one. But when I was structuring you, this is not, you see, these things are not answers. This is just me making notes for you to see how we got to the answers. Ne?
Okay, okay, okay.
Yes. The only answers are this ones and this one. The books, not the words. You see these words, they're just for me to direct you to the answer so that when you're studying, you know how to answer this question for next time. Okay. Number 2, direct deposit of 15,000 not appearing on the cash book. Sorry, on the cash book. Who's going to answer that one for us? Number 2. Yes, Karim.
Thank you, Mike. The 15,000 will go on the debit side of the supplementary cash book as an EFT error. I'm sorry, a direct deposit, yes.
Okay, I was almost surprised there. Hey, what are you talking about, Karim? But yes, he brought it back. Yes, since this is a direct payment of 15,000 not appearing on the cash book, we're going to record it on the debit side since it's a deposit. Number 3, bank charges of 4,000 missing in the cash book. What about that one? Yes, Luce?
Bank charges is a payment, so that will be on the credit side of the supplementary cash book, like
Correct.
money going out. Yeah.
Yes. So bank charges of 4,000. There we go. Let's close the book. Sorry. Let's close the books. Obviously, when we compare the supplementary, the debit side is going to be the bigger amount. So we are going to add that to get our total. So it's going to be 66,750 plus 35,000 plus 15,000. That's going to give you 116,750, which we are also going to use as a total for the opposite side. Total 116,750. 116,750. So we know that that is not equal to that. So we need to find the balance brought down. So to calculate the balance brought down, we are going to say 116,750 minus 3,500 minus 4,000. That is going to give you 109,250. Here we go. That is our balance brought down. So when we are done with the first one, supplementary, then we go to the bank recon. We compare which side is greater, debit or credit, obviously credit. So our total is going to be the 109,250. We take it as a total for the other side as well, like we usually do, total 109,250 minus everything that is on the debit side. It's going to give us a balance brought down of 109,250 and our books balance. There we go. That is how you do bank reconciliation, ladies and gentlemen. Luce, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you, Mike. Mike, remember in the beginning I said my brain was scrambled. So I had everything except for closing down my business cash book. I didn't think it was necessary, and that is what led me to my supplementary cash book not having the balance, and therefore my totals were incorrect. But everything else was right. I have my transactions recorded in the supplementary cash book as they should be, and the one on the bank reconciliation statement. But because the previous practices had them differently, and the bank reconciliation statement never just had one transaction, I was like, something's wrong, something's fishy. But thank you so much for this class. I have a clearer view, and I will close my books when it comes to the bank recon question.
Excellent. Now we see, right, that bank reconciliation is very simple.
Yes, yes, Mike, indeed.
Very simple. Yes. Yes, Sindana.
Yes, Mike, I have a question. Remember that 3,500 that was not showing in the bank statement, and the one that we later discovered that it was sorry, the one for Zama. Let me just
That is correct.
yes. Yes, the one that we laid. Yes. So later discovered that is what it was 35K, ne? Are we not supposed to also um fix it on the bank reconciliation statement?
No. Do you know why? So these are the
No.
discrepancies that we found. We found that there is no 35,000 on what? There's no, sorry, there is a deposit of 35,000 only showing on the bank, right? And there is an EFT of Zama 3,500 only showing on the books, right?
Yes. Oh, okay.
So they are connected. It's one thing. We just made a mistake. That's why we had to correct it on the cash book, because that's where the error happened.
Oh, now I get it. Yeah, I
Excellent.
think I made a mistake there. Thank you.
Yes, you saw the
Sorry,
light.
Mike, for interjecting while the others hands are up. But while we at this question, there was a tip you gave us in the last class, something about bank errors will have one amount and business errors or cash book transactions will have two amounts, which we have to correct when there's errors. I just don't have the wording correctly, but
Firm
that would
error.
be helpful.
Yes. Firm errors.
Yeah.
Yes, it's firm errors. I know Sindani saw it because she understands the bank reconciliation. Now she's just connecting it to this. I know when I was explaining it to her, it just boom, she saw it. Nolita?
Mike, can I make a sweet confession? That's why I failed. I don't know what I wrote in this question, but that's besides the point, ne? I just want you to clarify, Miss Mina. I've mastered that whatever you get from a client is not your money. You take it to the cash, to the TCP. But now you are taking it to the business bank account. And also, I also did the double entry, the normal way of ledgers and what have you. Yeah, Mike. So if you can just say to me, this layman, that is me, in an event where you see this is what you should do. Because honestly, I could get the payments, they belong to the PCP, but I did not know that the EFTs belong to the debit side of the same PCP. If you can just run that. Otherwise, other things, I just have to polish some few things. I did have the proper balances and everything. It's just that those finer details that I know that in an event when this kind of a question comes back again, this is what you should note, if you get what I mean. Thank you, Mike.
Yes, I do. Let me give it to you straight. I already did explain it at the beginning, but I'm going to repeat it. So when it comes to bank reconciliation, this is for only bank reconciliation. It doesn't apply to the other things. So in the bank reconciliation, number one, write it down. Let me put it down here. Number one, first thing first, for bank reconciliation only. Let me also write that down. Bank reconciliation only. For bank reconciliation only, the first thing that you must note, no double entry. Don't do double entry for bank reconciliation. When you see a bank reconciliation question, there is no double entry that you have to do. That is the first thing. Number two, you only deal with one book and bank account at a time. So what does this mean? This means that it can only be BCB and bank and business bank statement only, or TCB with the trust account only. It can't be both. So Nolita, it cannot be both. You cannot have TCB and BCB in bank reconciliation together. The comparison is always between BCB and the business bank statement, or TCB and trust account statement. Trust bank statement. Let me say it this way only. So it can't be mixed. So if the question says deal with this BCB or deal with these TCB transactions, only record them in TCB only. Don't involve the BCB. So when we reconcile, we either reconciling for BCB with business account or TCB with the trust account. And with that being said, another thing that I want you to note, if you read these questions carefully with like English, like read it as if you're reading an English novel or whatever English thing you're learning, you can see that these transactions are in the past tense. You are being given money that you already worked for. For example, you receive an EFT on the 5th of November. You receive an EFT payment of 57,500 from your client Moses in settlement of your tax invoice submitted to him, meaning that Moses was only settling the invoice, which means this money you already worked for. It's your money. Moses is not depositing money for future payments. He's depositing money for something you have already worked for. That's why it goes to the BCB. Those are the explanations.
No, thank you, Mike. Because honestly, you had said this for bank recon is always about comparing the BCB with the business statement or TCB with the trust account. But it did not make sense to me when you initially said it. I wrote it down. Now that you are explaining it for the second time, I'm getting it that you can't mix the books. It's fine, Mike. Thank you so much.
But only for bank reconciliation, right? Not for the other questions.
Only for bank reconciliation. Yes, thank you, Mike.
Excellent. Siko?
Mike, just to also add up on what you just said about with the question that Miss Nolita had. I think also if you read thoroughly, you'll make a note or like realize that in some instances they do the examiner would mention, would give you a direction. For instance, if you go down there, they are asking us to enter these transactions in the business cash flow. Officially, is a direction or rather a procedure that we should adopt, that all the transactions that are above, first and foremost, are going to be entered in the business cash flow. Secondly, I just wanted to I think just to confess also that this was such a very humbling question paper, Mike. I don't even want to lie. I don't know if Nondumiso is here, but there's some colleagues I tried to convene with yesterday when we were, I think Luce as well. I was on a very lengthy call with her, just trying to analyze, and dissect the question paper. That this question too that you just answered. It was a very humbling experience then, because after recording our transactions on the PCP, we realized that actually we are stuck and we cannot move. But I must say that we tried our best. There's a couple of entries that we got correct. For instance, we knew how to do our supplementary cash book and also found the balance for the bank recon. But for some others, it was just a very humbling experience. But I must confess now, I mean, I must admit now that after you did this question, actually, it makes so much sense. I think you have simplified it, according to the standards that you guys have upheld in this community of Simplified Academy. Like, it makes so much sense. I think it only needed someone to guide us, because as you are doing, it's like it's such a revelation. Like, oh, okay. So yeah, all in all, thank you for this. It's now we will know what to do. Shall we come across a question similar to this one in the near future?
Excellent. I'm gonna give you another one. There is one. They've only asked these questions like this 2 times in 2024 and 2025. I'm also gonna send the other one. You're gonna practice it. We will mark it as well. So before I go to Mahlatsi, I wanna say this, guys. The recording for today, this recording that we just had, it's going to be public for everyone. I'm going